Hey paisanos, quick question for you today. What makes for an excellent side quest? A jaunt through a 104 bonus dungeon full of rare and valuable treasure? A grueling fight against a super boss? Perhaps the opportunity to unlock a secret class, ability, or even character? I like all of these things too. I think we can all agree it ain't killing 10 rats, that's for sure. But the hint is in the name. Side quest. We want something fulfilling. A miniature campaign which still manages to compel in spite of its bite-sized nature. By that metric, a truly excellent side quest is one with the opportunity to make the player feel something. NieR Replicant is a game that's near and dear to my heart. From the mixed-up case files of everyone's favorite depressed moon man, Yoko Taro, NieR is an action RPG notable for a lot of really great things, but in particular, its overwhelming sense of sadness. NieR is an ice-cold shell hiding a core overflowing with warmth, demonstrated as soon as the player starts a new game. A boy and his ailing younger sister, or a papa and his daughter if you're playing the 2010 Western release, take shelter in a ransacked convenience store in the midst of an apocalyptic blizzard. Food, water, and shelter seem in short supply, and the store is soon beset by incorporeal monsters, shades. The boy, who lacks an official name in-game but is commonly referred to as NieR in the supplementary material, wields a length of pipe and the black magic of a cursed grimoire to defend his sister, Yona. As he fights off wave after wave of shades, the once minimal music becomes fuller and more desperate, reflecting his struggle. It's all in vain, as Yona, against her brother's instructions, touches his grimoire out of desire to help him, which inflicts her already weak body with the Black Scrawl, a debilitating disease that causes lettering from the celestial alphabet to manifest across her body. We fade out on this frozen cityscape, NieR shouting himself hoarse for help which will no doubt never come.
Please, somebody, we need help! Help us!
Only to skip ahead 1,000 years to, mysteriously, see the pair living together in a pastoral cottage where the game begins proper. Okay, look, we don't have to rehash all of NieR. In 2010, being a NieR fan was a lonely road to travel, but in the intervening years, especially since the release of sequel Automata, NieR has achieved several collaborations, millions in sales, and a ride-or-die international cult following, with the comments of any news article mentioning Square Enix filled with angry nerds asking where the next NieR game is. Heck, Enemy Piran and I attended a NieR orchestral concert in our city. If that's not popular, I don't know what is. And as such, a great deal has been written about NieR over the years by people much more talented than I, and I don't think I have much to add that hasn't already been said. Hell, people even like Drakengard now. You should watch Transwitch Review's deep dive on Drakengard 1 if you want to know more about that nightmare. Highly, highly recommended. But there is one thing I'd like to talk about. One specific side quest I haven't stopped thinking about since I first experienced it back in 2010. This is the story of the Lighthouse Lady. Okay, real talk. Before we proceed, I want to recognize the invaluable work of Natori Sawako and Kikuchi Hana, who shared scenario writing responsibilities. Essentially, the entire moment-to-moment script. NieR has become synonymous with Yoko Taro, who, to his credit, is a one-of-a-kind creative director, but without the contributions of these two women, this game would not nearly be as special as it is. So let's set the stage. NieR is visiting the nearby port town of Seafront in search of ingredients for pain medicine for his darling Yona. After fishing up its main ingredients from the ocean, an elderly woman crosses our path to make a big song and dance about her aching back. If we attempt to pass by, she stops us in our tracks with a derisive shout about the poor manners of our generation.
How can you just ignore an old woman in need? Oh, I weep for this generation. The children of this age are nothing but selfish, heartless cads.
Are you talking about me?
Oh, ignore her. We've a quest to complete. People like that are best left to their own devices.
The pain!
After verbally sparring with our companion, the snarky floating Grimoire Vice, we learn she's Seafront's lighthouse keeper, simply known as the Lighthouse Lady. Helpful and open-hearted to a fault, young NieR accepts her aggressive request to traipse to the post office and demand they deliver her mail as soon as possible. As we make our way towards the city center, we can see the old woman's temperament precedes her. The townsfolk warn us time and time again not to get involved with the mean old battle axe. At the post office, the postman claims he's hurt his leg, preventing him from making his usual rounds, and requests that NieR deliver her mail on his behalf. Of course, we'll do it, and a letter for the Lighthouse Lady is added to our inventory. Upon delivery, the Lighthouse Lady and Vice exchange more barbs, but nevertheless, NieR is paid a substantial reward of 1,000 gold pieces, and we're sent on our way.
Well, I suppose I should give you something for your trouble.
Naturally, there's more to this story. When we picked up the letter, Grimoire Vice, being a font of all knowledge, added its contents to his codex, allowing us to read it ourselves from the menu. It's here that we learn this is a letter from a far-off love. My dearest beloved, please forgive the lateness of this letter. I have recently fallen quite ill, and have had some difficulty finding a doctor in this foreign land. The people here, however, have treated me with great kindness, and I now feel my body getting stronger by the day. If my recovery continues, I hope to attempt the journey home soon. I think about you every day, and yearn for the moment we can be together again. Please, take care of yourself, and know that I'm doing everything I can to return to you. Day after day, the lady makes the painful climb to the top of the lighthouse, ensuring it stays lit in case the day finally arrives that her beloved ship needs safe guidance back to port. Isolated and lonely, she lashes out at those around her out of frustration that her long-awaited day has not yet come. Now, this first meeting with the Lighthouse Lady is mandatory and part of the main story. You could just snip this thread here and carry on, but what's the fun in that? 6 weeks later, as NieR carries out odd jobs around town to support himself and Yona, a request arrives from Seafront's head postman. He has another letter for the Lighthouse Lady and has requested that we be the one to deliver it. Somehow his leg is still injured, and his fellow postal carriers can't stand the Lighthouse Lady to the point of not doing the job that they're paid to do. The player can read this letter as well, which is another missive from her lover. My dearest beloved, again I put pen to paper when all I desire is to see you with my own eyes. How do the days find you? I am faring well enough. My illness is stubborn, but my love for you is stronger. Just knowing that you wait for me is enough to keep me going. I know how lonely you must be, but I must say this again. Do not attempt to find me. The voyage is treacherous, and disease runs rampant in this land. If anything were to happen to you, I fear I would not be able to take it. My love, my dearest love, I will return to you soon. This letter raises some questions. Its author seems passionate, but is he truly so worried about his lady's safety to not have her by his side? Is his own illness so severe he can't come back of his own accord? Surely he doesn't have a secret family or something. He wouldn't be writing to her if so, right? The Lighthouse Lady, however, doesn't entertain any of these doubts. She stays faithful and devoted to her beloved, treasuring each letter, even as her heart aches with the knowledge the day of his return is still a distant one. It's this conflict of heartache and gratitude that sees her rudely snatch the letter from NieR's hands before bestowing another 1,000 gold pieces.
Since you're here, I guess I should give you a little something.
Whoa, I can't accept this much.
It's fine, just take it. Take it and go.
This second time, NieR protests this is too great a reward for his errand, but she won't hear anything of it, and asks, well, demands, to be alone with her latest treasure.
Oh, when will he return to my side?
A few more weeks go by, and the head postman puts in another request. He's having trouble with a cranky old lady, and wants our help in particular. We know exactly who this is by this point. When we arrive at Seafront, we find the Lighthouse Lady has beaten us to the post office, arguing, pleading with the postman to allow her passage to reunite with her lover across the sea.
How much longer will you force me to toil here? I must go to him. I need to board a ship as soon as possible.
No way, lady. It's back to work for you. Now get going.
With surprising frigidity, he brushes her off completely, telling her to get back to work. She leaves with a huff that sounds like a strangled sob. NieR, having seen the old woman storm out, enters to ask the postman what happened. Somewhat defeated, he admits nobody else in Seafront knows how to operate the lighthouse, so they need her to stay and keep it lit. He knows we've come to have rapport with her, so he sends us to do their dirty work and attempt to dissuade her desire to abandon her post. Without making any promises, we make our way to the lighthouse once more to hear her out. And in her quarters, we find her bedbound, her breathing labored. She's contracted the black scroll herself, and Vice notices it's quite an advanced case. The Lighthouse Lady has come to terms with her mortality, but she wishes to die by her lover's side. For 50 long years, she's worked the lighthouse day in, day out. The least we can do is help fulfill her dying wish.
To see my love one last time. I've spent 50 years working the lighthouse for these people, and now they won't let me leave. I just want to see him. I want to board the ship that will take me to him. Oh, cruel world.
So it's a dying wish now, is it?
We should help her out, Vice.
We start by returning to the post office to explain the situation to the head postman in hopes he'll find some compassion within his heart.
Listen, about the Lighthouse Lady. Could you reconsider? You really should let her go.
We can't. Look, I'm sorry, but you'll just have to trust me. This is for her own good.
Death stalks this woman, Postman. Would you truly deny her final request?
Wait, she's dying?
Yeah. So if you are doing it for her sake, then you should just grant her final request.
Instead, he asks us to trust him and says it's for her own good. Even Vice, Lighthouse Lady hater number 1, is incensed by this and pointedly reveals that she's dying in an attempt to appeal to his humanity. The postman is shocked by this revelation, but he still won't budge and hurriedly tells us to come back tomorrow. As we step outside, Vice smells a rat and suggests we return to figure out what's going on once and for all. We walk in to find the postman penning a letter.
I suppose there's no need for this now.
Listen, Mr. Postman.
Hey, what are you doing here?
I would ask the same of you.
Work. Just some work.
Wait, are you writing a letter?
I don't
He
see how
yells at
that's
us
any
to get out
different.
and attempts to hide it, but Vice is too quick for him. Our floating companion has been paying very close attention over our past few deliveries, and he's noticed details to which the player has not been privy, particularly that each of the letters we've delivered has been postmarked from Seafront. He concludes that these letters are being written and sent locally.
The woman was not receiving letters from a lover in some far-flung land. They were penned by the hand of someone in this very town.
Well, crap.
Now caught, the postman invites us to the back room. After playing a bit of Sokoban, we retrieve a bundle of letters tied up with string. These are the letters the Lighthouse Lady posted to her beloved. 50 years worth, forever unsent, gathering dust in the back office. It's here that we uncover the terrible truth of a half-century lie.
Not anymore.
Not long after departing for foreign lands, the Lighthouse Lady's lover died, and his death notice arrived at the post office. The postman's father, head postman of his day, couldn't bring himself to tell her, and instead took up writing to her to keep her going, with the input of almost everybody in town. After his father passed, the current postman kept up the charade. Yes, it was to keep her manning the lighthouse, but the postman claims it was also to give her hope. Hope for a reunion that would never come. Perhaps there's nothing wrong with the postman's leg after all. Perhaps he just couldn't bear to look her in the eye as he delivered this false hope directly into her hands. NieR's furious, and even the bristly Vice can barely stomach this revelation. Now that he's been forced to confront his actions for the first time, the postman becomes quite rattled.
Happy truth now, is it?
What about her final request?
I don't know. How should I know? I'm just a damn postman. I don't know what to do anymore. What's the best thing to do? What's the right thing? Here, I have a new letter. Take it.
He doesn't know what's right anymore, but requests that we deliver one final letter.
It tells her to wait.
You wish us to deliver another letter filled with lies?
You uncovered our town's deepest secret like it was nothing. I don't think that's an accident. Look, I've told you what I think. Deliver the letter or tell her the truth. It's up to you.
My dearest beloved, 50 years have passed since I last gazed upon your face. How is it possible? When we next meet, I hope you can look past the wrinkles of an old man and see into a soul as young as the day we first met. This passage of time has led me to think upon our earlier days. When we first met, you were the prettiest girl in town. Your beauty was what first attracted me to you, but it was your kind heart which ensnared my soul. It gladdens me to read your letters, for I can see in them that your spirit is as wonderful as ever. I thank the gods each day that we fell in love, even as I curse them for keeping us apart. I will see you again. Wait for me, my love.
What do we do, Vice?
NieR finds himself in a crisis of conscience. Vice has a somewhat pragmatic response. The lies of the postman are not NieR's responsibility, and perhaps this situation is more nuanced than it appeared.
Elsewise, they would not have carried on with the ruse for 50 years. It also explains why they tasked her with keeping the lighthouse running, so news of her love's demise would not reach her.
Maybe that really was the kind thing to do?
We make the climb to the Lighthouse Lady's bedroom once more, and as we reach what will become her deathbed, we're faced with a choice.
Do you have any further news for my love?
Much like in real life, letters are sacred within this story. Not just to the Lighthouse Lady, but to the world itself. You save your game by posting a letter at any of the red post boxes dotted around the world, and the game's loading screens, which contain excerpts of Yona's diary, suggest we're sending a letter to Yona each time we save, which also fully restores NieR's health. The act of sending or receiving a letter literally enacting a healing effect on the self. The Lighthouse Lady's letters may be naught but falsehoods, but is the truth truly more sacred here? Perhaps she knew all along. Surely she'd noticed the suspicious postmarks better than anyone, and simply chose to keep the faith anyway. Is it worth tearing apart 50 years of treasured memories, the only thing this dying woman has left? Which one is the right answer? Is there a right answer? Smartly, the game does not mechanically weigh one outcome as better than the other. NieR receives the same 1,000 gold pieces no matter which choice he makes, so it truly is up to the discretion of the player. You will not be swayed by material rewards here. Not long after making our choice, the postman contacts us one more time. We learn that the Lighthouse Lady has passed. No matter which truth we decided to share with her, she was found in her bed with a smile on her face. The postman's surprised to find that he's actually grieving her, and NieR and Vice reflect on what it means to do the right thing.
Was she happy?
I do not know. None can say what true happiness is. Humans, and perhaps even magical tomes, are far more uncertain creatures than we know.
Yeah, I guess.
That's it for me, everyone. I'll be here. But that's not quite the end of the story. In the second half of the game, a 5-year time skip occurs, and an older, spikier NieR finds himself fueled by revenge. While the world has hardened his exterior, his heart remains as tender as it was. NieR revisits Seafront's lighthouse to reflect on the past. A townsperson recognizes us as the Lighthouse Lady's former friend. Concerned that the town is lacking spare parts in case the lighthouse breaks, he requests that we get some spares from the junk heap in the mountains. NieR knows this is what the Lighthouse Lady would have wanted, and heads into the lair of the machines to get the necessary
There
parts.
was this old lady that helped me once, and I'm fixing the lighthouse where she used to live.
Exactly who did the helping is a matter of debate, but regardless.
Wow, a lighthouse keeper. That sounds kind of romantic.
Indeed, she was nothing if not a hopeless romantic.
Yeah, I guess she was.
When we deliver the goods, the man tells us the lighthouse has been unmanned for these past 5 years, but still works just fine. It's possible there was never any need to keep the lighthouse manned for the past half-century after all. But Vice muses it may be the spirit of the old lady keeping it lit, with just a little bit of help from us, of
Perhaps
course.
even in death, the old woman refuses to neglect her duty.
As NieR continues to make his way through Seafront, he's stopped by a young woman who identifies herself as a jeweler. She's seeking the Mermaid's Tear, a rare jewel. However, she has a specific interest in this particular gem. It was one of her family's heirlooms. It previously belonged to her uncle until he sent it to Seafront, his hometown, before he died some 50 years ago. It couldn't be. Could it? So we do a little detective work. A woman seated in the fountain square tells us the Lighthouse Lady knew a thing or two about gemstones. Of course, she's no longer with us, but NieR visits the empty lighthouse anyway. Inside, we find 2 letters, postmarked 50 years ago. The first letter appears to be truly from her far-off love. We don't get a full letter to read this time, but he promises to enclose the mermaid's tear within his next letter. The second letter, however, apologizes for being unable to send the tear at this time. Weiss notices that the first letter was indeed sent from abroad, but the apology letter, like the decades of letters we saw previously, was sent from seafront. Since the young jeweler has reliable intel that the tear was sent to seafront, Weiss suggests we inquire with the postman once more. His father never mentioned a package to him, but he tells us if the package wasn't delivered, it may still be in the storage room where we found the Lighthouse Lady's letters 5 years prior. We play one final game of Sokoban, and there it is, the mermaid's tear, packaged with the final letter the man would ever truly send, informing the Lighthouse Lady that he's not long for this world. He enclosed his family treasure to the woman he loved as one final memento.
My love, I fear the illness which ravages my body will soon claim it. My dreams of traveling to you are all but lost. I desired so to give you this stone with my own hand, and I cannot is my greatest regret. He gave her his family's heirloom as a final gift.
Hold a moment. I see another letter.
Alongside it, we find a death notice, which arrived before the tear itself even made it to seafront. 50 long years of not knowing, the truth obscured by the postman's father. One's first thought is that the postman coveted the mermaid's tear, and fraudulently wrote this letter to keep it for himself. But this doesn't quite add up. To this day, the tear was kept in the back room of the post office with its original packaging, not to be gazed upon, admired, or sold for profit. Just sitting here, collecting dust, waiting for us to find it. Was this truly just to keep the Lighthouse Lady at her post? Or was this fiction indeed constructed from the nauseating idea of delivering a young woman's shattered dreams as just another day on the job? What the former postman began was undoubtedly out of cowardice, but perhaps there truly was a misguided sense of kindness behind his acts. So, what do we do with this? We can return it to the client. It belonged to her family, after all. Sell it for a profit, or see it buried alongside the Lighthouse Lady in memoriam. The postman tells us to follow our heart.
Let's sell this sucker.
Returning it to the jeweler or selling it gives you the same monetary reward, but the mermaid's tear was intended for one person. If you so desire, the postman agrees to bury the jewel with the Lighthouse Lady, and NieR lies to the client, informing her that we couldn't find any leads after all. We don't get a reward for this, but perhaps ensuring the mermaid's tear reached its rightful recipient is a reward in itself. NieR makes one last climb to the top of the empty lighthouse. From its vantage point, he and Weiss gaze at the seagulls as they soar over the endless expanse of blue, the ocean covering what was once civilization, a broken railway bridge, all that's left to tell the tale. NieR and Weiss muse that perhaps the tear has made its way to its rightful recipient in the afterlife.
So the mermaid tear was being gifted to her.
That thing must stir up some powerful memories.
Alas, it is far too late to bring it to her now.
It made its way to her in the next life. I'm sure of it.
I certainly hope so.
And with that, we close the book on the tragic tale of the Lighthouse Lady, a minuscule part of NieR's grand narrative, a hyper-zoomed-in short story in which the central characters aren't even given proper names. We are challenged to take a break from literally cutting through the hordes of shades to instead metaphorically cut through the caustic exterior of a crotchety old woman, our reward being a connection, and the bittersweet moment when that connection is severed. With some distance and more genre experience under my belt, I now know that CRPGs, particularly The Witcher or especially Disco Elysium, often veer into these kinds of waters. But being something of a hopeless romantic myself, this might be my favorite side quest. Now, I'm not saying that the heart of every good side quest is tragedy, and indeed, the tale of the Lighthouse Lady, as bleak as it is, can be interpreted to end on a hopeful note. Whether one truly believes there's an afterlife in which she's alongside her beloved is ultimately immaterial. What really matters is the type of person that NieR, and by extension the player, chooses to be. At one point during the game's second half, NieR says this world is winding down. And indeed, this is a dying world, but one in which life continues against all odds, experiencing brutality, atonement, grief, and everlasting love. As those who came before us pass away, we can choose to continue to treat each other with gentleness and understanding for as long as we are here. We can even afford a little bit of grace to our annoying Chunibyo pals. I really hope you enjoyed this short video. I made it on something of a whim in between working on longer projects. If you did, please like, subscribe, tell your friends. This channel is still a mighty tiny passion project, but your support keeps me going. And on that note, I need to thank my supporters. Thank you, Vocals and Like a Milk Dud. Your support means the world to me. If you'd like a special thanks like this and a warm feeling, you can also become a supporter for less than a cup of coffee. Or you can give me a one-off tip at Ko-fi, which is linked in the description. Well, until next time,